Hello and welcome to another episode of Hallmark. I'm Kristen.
I'm Aya.
And we have left Christmas in July.
Kind of thank God. Like, bye. Don't need to worry about that just yet.
No, not for a little while. And also because there just seems to be a lot of Hallmark movies being taken off Prime again at the moment that we're like, quick, watch them all. Unfortunately, this one is probably not one of them. It's it's going to stay there.
But you kind of wish that Prime went, you know which one we should get rid of? This one.
We are talking about The Convenient Groom. If you haven't watched it, it's available on Amazon Prime here in Australia. Mm-hmm. And I guess before we get too far into it, should we tell everyone what it's about?
Yeah, right. So this disappointing movie, IMDb says, a young celebrity marriage counsellor discovers, and that her name's Kate, by the way, discovers herself left at the altar of her own highly publicised wedding. To save face, she accepts an offer from her contractor, Lucas, who secretly has a crush on her, to step in as a groom and marry her.
That is entirely untrue.
I mean...
It's along the right lines, but I would say none of that information is correct.
Well, the first thing is, like, she's not a celebrity. Okay, she's not a celebrity, really.
She's not a celebrity.
I mean, they try and make it out to be. Anyway, I'll get into that.
She's not a marriage counselor.
She's not I thought she was just like a...
She's like a relationship advice vlogger.
Yeah. Yeah, she has a YouTube channel. She keeps calling it a blog. I hate when people call YouTube channels blogs.
And it's not her wedding, it's her engagement announcement. Mm-hmm. And it's not highly publicised, they're just recording it for funsies so that they can put it on their socials.
And only recording it so that she can apparently get a book deal.
Yeah. And he doesn't accept the offer. Lucas, who's not her contractor, he built a table for her one time.
And they went to high school
together. It's just like, hi, I'm the fiancé. And she goes, no.
And he goes, yes.
And her agent goes, absolutely, we have a book deal.
yes.
So I guess, and I mean, like, sure, he might secretly have a crush on her, but he just seems like a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
He doesn't step in as her groom to marry her. He just steps in as the fiancé.
Yeah, like, they don't actually get married. That was never the plan, to get married. It's all about, the engagement.
IMDb... Sort it out, please.
I mean, I don't want to look what... I was like, I could look what Hallmark Channel wrote, but...
No, it's okay.
Well, I'm there. So I might as well do it. Why don't you give, like...
They've said nothing about it.
Yeah, why don't you give, like, more about the movie? Meet the cast. No, thanks.
I mean, about.
Here we go. Okay, here we go. Dr. Kate Lawrence, a celebrity relationship expert, plans to publicly announce her engagement to Brian, a handsome and perfectly polished businessman. As Kate prepares to share the news, Brian shocks her by breaking up with her and calling off the wedding. Wanting to save her from humiliation and protect her public image, Lucas Wright, Kate's childhood friend, steps in and pretends to be Kate's fiancé. That is better. That is better. Maybe I should just go directly to the website next time.
Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like IMDb should get it right.
IMDb's been pretty good for the last 15 episodes.
Yeah. All right, let's... I don't really need to explain the movie anymore. I think that was pretty good. That's all you need to know.
That's kind of it. And then they plan a wedding that may or may not happen. Like, at the point of them accepting that they'll just pretend to be fiancés, there's no real set, we are definitely going to get married.
No, and I think it's set up that they'll announce that, it's cancelled, like their relationship's over before the actual wedding. The main purpose of this is just so she can get a book deal, and she kind of wants to publicize it a bit more because she talks about relationships so much. She kind of wants to prove that she can also have a successful relationship.
And this is probably my biggest gripe with the movie.
Yeah, right.
Is that she is giving relationship advice, which a lot of the time is like, okay. And then in her relationship with Brian, I'm like, you are a walking red flag. Both of you are walking red flags.
You are not meant to be together at all.
I don't know if you know how to date anybody, Dr. Kate. Like,
I think the way that she like tells people to date, It's just the advice that she gives is so bad. Like, apparently you're never meant to fight. If you fight, that means you're gonna end up divorced.
Yes.
I think it's healthy. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I feel like, you know, in some instances it's healthy to fight. To say that, you know, if you're opposites, you can't be together. I think that's just so, like...
Yeah. And,
whatever.
like, we learn later on down the track that this is how she feels because her parents got divorced.
Yes.
But I'm like, if you have gone to what I'm assuming is college to get a psychology degree...
She's a doctor.
Yes. Then... you probably would have learnt to not bring your own personal bias into your workplace.
Yeah, exactly. But then also you probably would have learnt how to like properly assess things and not be like, what did you write your thesis on? They fought, therefore they weren't going to end up together.
And like there was one, the very first piece of advice she gives in this movie, it's at the top of the film, is like, if you're going on a coffee date, he should pay.
I wrote that too.
And I was like, what does that mean? What?
Though that first clip where she kind of talks about the 3 red flags were all wrong.
Oh yeah.
Because it was the guy has to pay, and then
because it's just manners.
And I wrote whoever organised the date should pay.
I think on the first
or you
date,
could split.
You could split it.
Or like if someone buys a coffee and you get a next round, or like, you know, even at a bar, one buys one round.
Yeah.
You know, spread the love. Like, for him to just pay, oh, come on. Second red flag. Oh, the name. I didn't understand this second red flag. She said something about the name on the coffee cup, if they spell it incorrectly or something. I didn't understand her second red flag. It was something about the name on the coffee cup.
Yeah, I don't remember it well enough to tell you.
I tried to watch it. I watched it back a few times going, I don't get this.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I think the only one that was fine was like how he treats the waitress, or like how he talks to the waitress or the barista or whatever it was. And I was like, well, that's kind of the same for anybody. Like, female identified, male identified, doesn't really matter.
Any human being. Can you be polite, please? And just like the half mocha, open frappuccino, like whatever the coffee order is. Like, you're going to judge someone based on they're difficult because they're high maintenance.
Which is wild, because for the entire movie, she is high maintenance. Entire movie.
She is.
And she says some of the dumbest stuff that I'm like, what the heck? Why would anybody listen to relationship advice from you?
And her thing is called Just No.
Yeah. Just No dating advice. I've written that down being like, okay.
Yeah, it's a terrible name for a doctor.
There's no wiggle room. It's not like, let's talk this out. Let's give them a chance. Let's see how this goes. What if you offered to pay any dinner? Like, just the whole time, I'm like, this is my problem with Hallmark movies.
I feel like I know it's not real, but I feel like if this was made today, and like she was posting this stuff on TikTok, can you imagine the comment section and the stitches and duets of this video being like, you are wrong, you are the red flag.
But then there'd be heaps of people that would be like, see?
Yeah.
That's what it is. Brian... She talks about how Brian has 0 red flags and that they're perfect for each other. And then from the minute that we see them together, they don't seem to like each other. He doesn't seem to like her. Absolutely not.
He does not like her.
And she just steamrolls him at every opportunity to be like, we're perfect, we're perfect, we're perfect, we're perfect, we're perfect.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the meet cute moment in this film, again, they already know each other.
They already know each other.
So I guess what we're learning is that the meet cute is never really a meet cute.
No, it's
like a sup friend.
But like she was also like such a bitch to Lucas in that moment, in the meet cute in inverted commas.
Yes.
Because he's like, oh, I've made that table for you. Like I'm finishing that table for you. And she's like straight away like, you're taking a really long time.
Yeah.
How about thank you for hand making a table for me?
Yeah. No. And so there is this kind of banter, and he kind of makes a dig that Brian and Kate have had this whirlwind romance because he's never met Brian and suddenly they're engaged. And she's like, oh, okay. And then walks away. And I'm just kind of like, oh, this is... Why does anybody want to talk to her?
Yeah.
That's how I felt the whole movie. Why does anyone want to talk to her? Why does anyone want to listen to her? Why does her agent also insufferable? Like the two of them together in one room, I would be like, get me out of here.
Yeah. Yep, I didn't like the agent either. No. Well, then the next scene, I think, is literally the agent and / I guess she was an agent. Yeah, she was an agent or manager, whatever, talking to her about this book deal. And apparently, in order to get the book deal, she has to have this publicized engagement. So, like, no engagement, no book deal.
Pretty much.
I didn't understand that. I don't see how they work
we
together.
never really also knew what the book was about, so I don't know if it was a book about the perfect relationship or the perfect romance. Maybe it was a thing of like, well, you're not in a relationship, so how can you write a book about it?
Yeah.
Which, again, like, wild if someone is a psychologist and is more coming at it from a behavioral compatibility kind of section. She says in that, like, engagement announcement thing to Brian, if I could build the perfect husband, then it would be you. And at that point, all we've seen of him is like shut her down, or like the conversation isn't really going anywhere.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I follow some relationship advice peeps on Instagram and stuff, and it's different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know how to describe it, but it isn't like strive for perfection or find the person that like ticks all of the boxes. Yes. It's more about like, what are you looking for in a human being, and what qualities do you put at the priority end of the spectrum, whereas she's just like, you look good, you don't talk over the top of me because I talk all the time. Yes. And that's it, the end.
You know business. You work hard. Good job.
What is it that you do again? We have
business.
Business. He does business.
He does business.
Lucas doesn't know how famous she is, and neither do we.
I mean, we get a glimpse into it because in the park scene where we see Kate and her fiancé with no chemistry, people are like awkwardly taking photos and videos of her. She's not Taylor Swift. No. Like...
And we only see the same 3 viewers watching her vlogs at any time.
Yeah, so she's got 3 followers.
It's very strange. Because we haven't really set up, I don't think the premise of her being a celebrity relationship advice vlogger is set up in a way that she is like the top of her game.
They could have done more, like mention like, oh my gosh, you just hit this amount of subscribers or something, to sell it, like, and that's why you're getting a book deal, like I don't know, your anything, you just came off and did an interview on the Today Show, something that like shows significance. But it's literally a little clip, 3 people watching, randoms in the park taking a photo, and that's it. And that's what, you're a celebrity apparently.
Wild. And that's kind of the feel of the whole movie, where I'm just like, this is weird, and I don't get it. My favorite moment is Lucas is played by David Sutcliffe, who played Christopher in Gilmore Girls.
Okay.
Rory's dad. Him and Lorelai have back and forth thing going on, and I loved Gilmore Girls growing up, and I loved Christopher. He looked so good in this green shirt that I was like, this is the best part of the movie.
Oh my gosh.
That's it. But I also like, okay, so she's a relationship advice columnist, vlogger, that is totally motivated, I guess, by her own personal bias.
Yep.
She meets Lucas and can't have a legitimate friendship because she's holding a grudge against something he did as a teenager, which honestly, like, when you watch the movie, is like, it was just like 25 years ago.
And it wasn't that bad. He brought friends over when they were meant to be hanging out. I don't know if it was meant to be a date. I don't know. If you're 16, I don't know. I probably would have done...
It's always a group date.
Yeah.
It's always a group date.
Yeah.
At least first.
You
know, like, I'm too nervous to hang out with you one-on-one on the first
to
date.
then hold that against someone? No.
Yeah. They're like, what? Okay, how about... Crazy idea, Dr. Kate. Maybe you also go talk to someone.
Yes. Well, that is a point that is brought up later.
Yes. I find with Brian being so uncomfortable around her, I'm confused as to why he proposed in the first place. Like, I would really have liked to have seen how that came about.
Well, we then... I guess I'm kind of skipping forward the tiniest bit. When they then have to publicise their engagement,
Yes.
He's there and he basically... He doesn't like that all the attention... Sure, that's fine, but he's very awkward about it. But then he kind of breaks up with her and says, like, we're not engaged anymore. And then we find out that he's cheating on her,
Yes.
which is a first.
Yes.
I don't think we've ever seen a Hallmark movie where someone cheats.
No.
So then my thought, like, why I'm bringing that up is, to your point, maybe that's why when we see the movie... When we start the movie, we see him not really vibing her because he's already maybe kind of checked out. But I don't know.
Absolutely.
But then also, why would you be... I mean, I can't remember the exact dialogue, but is he doesn't really say much about the engagement. It's more her.
Yeah.
So
He's just like, please don't make this a big deal.
Yeah. And like, I don't know. I just feel like, I mean, if you're cheating, you're a terrible person. But also, if you just didn't want to do it anymore, just don't do it anymore.
No, don't propose.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like they've been together long enough. That was the other thing. It didn't seem like they had been together long enough for him to be cheating on her.
Yeah, but yeah.
You know?
Well, to propose and then cheat on her.
Yeah, when the people that she's not from it's not like she's in New York. It's not a large town.
No.
She's in a very small town. For nobody to know who he is or have met him.
Yeah.
That seems strange.
Yeah.
And then at the engagement announcement, he goes, we used to be perfect for each other and things have changed. And I was like, at what point were you perfect for each other?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because from the entire time we've seen you don't seem compatible in any way, shape or form.
No.
Because she's a nutcase and you are disengaged.
Yeah.
So
Worst couple ever.
anyway.
Can I just quickly ask, worst couple, this couple or the couple in Love Strikes Twice, if you had to pick?
I think probably this couple, only on the basis of the fact that we saw the couple in Love Strikes Twice in a good spot. Like, you could understand why they got married. The rest of it, total bull.
Yes.
But, like, that first bit, you could be like, oh, I get they work together well in the beginning. They just should have gotten a
And they
divorce.
eventually worked
Yeah.
well together. Even when, in this movie, when towards the end he tries to, like, get back with her, it's in such an angry, kind of, a bit alpha male kind of way. It's really unsettling.
That was a good question.
You're welcome.
Now I'm still going to sit here thinking about whether I agree with my own answer.
No,
Who would you
I
pick?
think, no, I agree. Like, this couple is terrible because I watched them immediately going, you don't love each other. At least in Love Strikes Twice, to your, like what you're saying. Like, oh, that's nice. And yeah, obviously it gets gross for most of the movie, but at least it starts and ends nice.
Yeah. Don't settle, people.
Yeah, don't settle.
She...
No, what?
When they break up at
Yeah.
this engagement announcement, she says things like, who dumps their girl and everything's over. My love life, my career. She's spent the first, half an hour talking about high maintenance people. And I'm like, who's high maintenance?
Yeah.
You're high maintenance. You are so dramatic. There are plenty of times we've seen... Sorry, I'm choking on the idea. I don't know. I've followed Matthew Hussey on Instagram. He's a relationship advice expert. And he has dated plenty of women. You know, enough women for you to be like, well, at least it's good to know that, like, sometimes it doesn't always work out, but you still know what you're doing.
Yeah.
This chick was like, it must be perfect on the first go. Like, it just...
Yeah.
I don't understand why one relationship not working out should teach you new things so that you can then start talking about different pieces of advice. And, like, it's very, like, it hasn't gone my way. And that's how she is. She throws a tantrum quite often.
Yeah, she's definitely high maintenance. She throws tantrums. She always goes, like, for the negative and the no first before ever just being like, open
Yeah.
and willing to like accept, explore, willing to let anyone else in, really. I don't know. She's just... I hate the fact that we're talking about like a female lead character, but it's not her fault. It's the writer's fault. Yeah. Why do they do this to women in these movies?
I don't know. And it's very confusing because I'm like, every human being on the planet is so complex. Mm-hmm. And yes, there is a reason why she acts the way that she acts. But I just don't think that in the field that she would be in, that she would have no way of broadening her own perspective. Does that make sense? I'm like, if you had picked someone who worked at a bakery, sure.
Do you know what I'm also laughing
at? Oh, no.
The fact that we're talking in such depth about this.
I know. Like, we watched a Hallmark movie. And the
Hallmark writers were like, yeah, whatever. And she read the script probably going, yeah, okay. And we're like, so this scene, when her tone, like, we are so detailed.
We want more from these TV movies.
Oh my gosh.
We want more.
We want more. We're not going to get more.
No, we're not.
Unless we write it ourselves.
One day.
One day.
Lucas's last name is Wright.
He's Mr. Right.
So he's Mr. Right. So from the beginning, we're kind of like, well, duh, they're going to end up together.
Because the other guy's named Brian Roth. That's not real, but that would that would have been great.
Yeah, Lucas Wright and Brian Rugg. We're really good at the script stuff, guys.
Kate Red Flag.
Maybe it was... Her last name was No. That's why it's just no dating advice.
Oh, yeah. Probably not.
She's very bossy. She has so many red flags herself. I think that was my problem with the whole movie. And then Brian went and planned all of these super romantic things while they would have been planning their wedding.
Which is also weird.
Yes, because I'm like, if you were cheating on her and you were thinking about breaking up with her, why would you plan all these romantic things? And he says later on in the movie, like, I wanted to pretend everything was okay. I wanted to get myself out of it. But I'm like, no.
No. Anyway, I don't even know I stopped taking notes for a really long time.
Yeah, me too.
Because
it was just wedding prep stuff.
It was wedding prep stuff, which is fine. She, like, he was very like, oh, this is fun. And she's like, no, you like that? No. Yeah. Like, the entire time. Can we cut forward to, I don't know if you have other notes, but like she meets his parents.
Yes.
His mother was a character.
But also kind of my favourite. Because she was like... Okay. She's like, okay, fake fiancé. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Come on in.
I think I just didn't like her acting.
No.
The acting was bad. I mean, as a parent, you probably would expect, you would hope someone would be like, you're like doing this to my child. Yeah. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
But just the acting wasn't very good, but that's fine. You can't win them all.
You can't win them all. I didn't mind the younger sister.
Yeah, she was cute. I don't know how young she was, because she was acting like she was 15, 16.
I know, but she looked like she was 29.
Yeah, because also he seems older. So it's like, you're acting like you're like a little child being like, oh my gosh, I get a sister. Like, I don't know, as a 30-year-old, I wouldn't be acting like that. No. So
definitely not.
I don't know what her age was. What? Are you trying to read your notes?
Yeah, I honestly kind of just wrote them with being like, I'll know what that means when I write. Oh, the sandcastle moment. I was like, why is the sand green? Is sand usually green?
I don't know.
These
maybe
are the
in America
hard-hitting
or Canada.
questions.
Yeah, this is why you really have to question the choices being made.
But like, legitimately, I've never seen green sand.
No.
If someone has seen green sand, and like all the rocks around it were mossy, so I don't know.
Is it the moss?
Is it moss on the sand?
Ugh,
I mean, we live in Queensland, so the beaches are pretty great.
There's like
here.
black sand and stuff like that, but I've never seen green sand.
This is how much I enjoyed engaging with this movie.
Yeah, you really like look for the... I think I was creating a notion like fashion wish list while I was doing it, and like looking up and adding links to my Notion. So that's how involved I was.
Wrote, do you like being with him? I like that he wouldn't leave.
What?
And I think that's maybe someone asked her
about Brian.
Did you like being with... Lucas asked her, did you like being with him, as in Brian? And she said, I like that he wouldn't leave.
Oh
and
my gosh. That's not saying you like being with him.
No! I was like, oh my God, girl. Mm-hmm. Let's have a chat.
Yeah.
Let's have a chat about everything that's led to this
that
moment.
So she needs to talk to someone.
Yes.
Like, she needs her own therapist, which I quickly mentioned this earlier, his mother basically says that.
Yes.
Like, she needs a therapist. She was right in saying that.
Yeah.
Because she does.
Yeah.
She needs to talk things through.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot going on.
There's a lot that she needs to unpack because she's holding on to a lot of things. Mm-hmm. Then she gave the advice, if his refrigerator is empty, his heart may be empty.
Stop. That is like...
And
no.
me personally, my fridge is always empty.
But that means your heart's empty. Does your heart feel empty?
Yeah, it makes sense, I guess. Bitter old lady.
Yeah.
It's because I have no food in my fridge.
Yeah, it's because I haven't been bothered like going grocery shopping.
Yeah. It's also hard. Cooking for one is boring.
Yeah, I get that.
Cooking for one is boring. She really doesn't like to hear about her own quirks or her own red flags.
She is not a decent person.
No, Lucas kind of brings up how impatient she is when he's trying to unpack the groceries, because she opens his fridge is empty. She like laughs and he goes, oh, what? And she's like, oh, I always say that if your fridge is empty, then your heart must be empty. And he's like, well, lucky I went grocery shopping. And he puts 2 grocery bags on the counter. And as he's trying to unpack, she starts to eat the fruit that is in one of the bags without asking. This is not in her own
house. She
home.
didn't pay for this. Yeah.
And he goes, don't eat that. They're not ripe yet. And she was like, I don't care. And he's like, well, a woman who can't wait for whatever it is to be ripe is impatient. Should you be dating her? And like kind of like as another dig to her as like a bantery fun way. And she goes, I'm not impatient. And he's like, okay.
So basically she doesn't like hearing any kind of faults about herself. But also, why are you buying unripe fruit?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe that's all the grocery store had.
Yeah.
And he was willing to wait because he didn't think she was going to eat it immediately.
Yeah, without asking. Yeah.
She then pretends to be... They watch some telly together and they watch it all night long.
All night long,
just sitting there watching some cop drama. And then she pretends to fall asleep to see if he will put a blanket over the top of her. Sure. And then when he leaves, she wakes up and she smiles, and it's just kind of like that.
Why are you...
entrapment kind of behaviour.
Why are you playing games? Why are you testing him? You don't even like him. Or maybe she does. I think
at this point she does, but at the same time, I don't know. I think I keep going back to, if we had been watching these movies as is younger humans and not in our early 30s, where we could be like, that's not the way to communicate with someone that you might like. Yeah. Being like, girls, you have to play games in order to get what you want. No, don't. No, please.
No one likes that.
Please don't. And you'll get tired, and then you'll start second guessing whether he even likes you in the first place, because you've been playing all these games. And do you like him, or was it just really fun to play all these games? Anyway, Brian comes back
and comes like barging into her house. Really, like it's
pretty icky.
Yeah.
And because he's left what's her face, the secretary, classic. The secretary then blows up Kate's life.
Yes.
Because it's Kate's fault that Brian is a douchebag.
Yeah.
And announces to the world just before seconds before Kate's about to announce that everything's fake. What timing.
Yeah.
So old mate secretary announces that it's all a ruse, and she's been lying to you, and everyone's disgusted, and they cannot believe that Dr. Kate, this amazing relationship advice vlogger.
But do we see those reactions? Do we see her 3 fans like?
Yeah, we do. They're like,
no.
They turn it off.
Yeah.
Which are like, I just, for so long she was grappling with, do I tell the truth because it will end the relationship? And I'm like, you could have a conversation with Lucas to be like, hey dude, I like you, I've liked spending time with you, this has been really fun, and I would like to date you, but I'm going to tell everyone that we're not actually getting married.
But that would be the adult thing to do.
Yes.
She's not that.
No. I wrote, my note is, Kate is very dramatic, too dramatic, annoyingly dramatic, especially for a psychologist.
Yeah, I agree.
I just, everything... Oh, Stephanie's the name of the secretary. I wrote that down.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah.
Then she kind of decides she's going to quit. Kate decides she's going to quit everything. She just is like...
She's so reactive.
So reactive. It's all this, like, adult tantrum throwing that I just am like, I thought we'd move... Like, The Convenient Groom isn't that old a movie. I think it came out in 2017.
Yeah, I think it did, yeah.
But I'm like, I didn't think this is where we were at in terms of writing female characters. But, like, Hallmark hasn't exactly been with the times, you know?
Yeah.
And then we get all of this reactive moment from Kate, and then her agent comes in after she quits everything, and they have this reactive moment where she's like, I don't need an agent anymore. It's not like I'm not doing anything. The book deals. She's like, you've lost the book deal anyway. So like,
I would have given her the book deal because of this.
Yeah. So then there's all this stuff, and she ends up firing her agent. And she's like, well, yeah, good luck, because now you won't be making a commission. And the agent goes, oh no, you mean I won't make a commission on 50% of zero? And walks out the door. And I'm like,
what a...
Whoa!
Yeah, nah, I did not like that agent. That was so rude.
Yeah. But I'm like, if that is how you guys have talked to each other this whole time.
But it's all her fault. I mean, like, not completely. But the agent put her up to this. She kept saying, in defense of Kate, she did say no.
Yes.
And the agent said, yes. So, stupid agent, shut up.
Yeah, it's just, and I think it's hard because they've painted 95% of the women in this movie as complete psychopaths.
Written by women, by the way.
Ladies!
Yeah. Let's have
a chat, because I don't know if you've experienced some nice things in your life when it comes to men.
Yeah, but to your point, they wrote these women so poorly.
Yeah, like, kind of offensively, to be quite honest. I think this is the first one that I've sat there being like, ugh. No.
Yeah.
And I know that we've talked about the way that women have been portrayed in other Hallmark movies before. Yes. But I think this one is...
It didn't sit.
No, it didn't sit well. And I think because Lucas was then so cool, calm and collected, did communicate, was happy to call her on her bullshit, like all of this kind of stuff, it just kind of made Kate's character sadder to watch.
Yeah, and I'm so sick, like, I don't get why the lead male always gets to be the cool, calm, collected, the one who communicates, the one who understands, the one who's supportive. Why is that always the case? I mean, not always, but,
quite often.
When you do see it, you go, really? But also, these writers, had they written it another way and someone went, no.
Maybe. You
need to not do it like that.
Maybe.
I don't know.
We don't know. We weren't there.
We weren't.
But we have some edits, so if you'd like to hear them, let us know. The rest of my notes are kind of all the same. Like, Kate, your parents are not everyone. Yeah. You are never going to actually really know if everything is going to turn out in the end.
But that's what his mum says.
Yeah, that you just have to take the leap of faith.
Yeah, and I liked her in that moment. I was like, that's really good advice. One thing, I think it was mentioned earlier on, and this is kind of like my last note. Well, actually I have two last notes. I really stopped taking notes Wow, I didn't take any notes. Wow, because we're way back. Sorry, first of all, sorry to cut like this. This is really great conversation, but just two things.
Yes.
And I will get them out now.
Great. The first thing.
The mother doesn't like when people have their phone. His mother doesn't like when people have their phones on them.
At dinner time.
At dinner time. So Kate's phone goes off. She grabs it and pretends to throw it. Kate's reaction was too mild. If that were me, I would have been like, I would have screamed.
Yes.
And it was a fake throw, so whatever. It doesn't matter. Lucas also had a fiancé that died.
Yes.
She died.
So he was almost widower.
Yes. So that's a trope that's popping up a lot.
A lot.
It's always the female partner who's died.
Yes. Well, this is why it's taken him so long to love again, which makes him so gentle.
Yeah. Oh, good on them.
That
were all my notes.
My last note was just like, why don't you ask any questions, Kate? Which is like, I think, again, the thing that I'm like, you've written somebody as a counselor, as a psychologist, as someone who deals with people in the field where all they are meant to do is ask questions.
Yeah.
And she never
doesn't
asks any questions.
I'm just looking at Rotten Tomatoes real quick. Just seeing if there are any reviews. There's no reviews. Surely, like, I want to see a review. Like, here, reviews of The Convenient Groom, because we've got a 7 out of 10. Okay, here we go. 3 out of 10. Blah, blah, blah. The only one, blah, blah, blah. Oh, gosh, you're long. I don't even want to read this.
The best thing about The Convenient Groom is David Sutcliffe, who is great here and has a very likeable character that he plays with subtle charisma and easygoing, down-to-earth charm while not making him too perfect. Unfortunately, that is pretty much, I'm assuming, it. Vanessa Marcel is just terrible. She is very uptight, exaggerates many of her expressions and mannerisms, and also is very affected and obnoxious, especially when she tries to act younger than she is. Her character is truly insufferable to the point of it really unbalancing the film badly. Her arrogance, snobbishness, and lack of maturity grated very quickly, almost immediately, and never stopped. Really found it really difficult to see what Sutcliffe's character saw in her, and there is no romantic chemistry whatsoever between them, too distant, and also too much of a mismatch personality-wise.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you went on that 4 out of 10?
Yeah.
Isn't...
It's fine. Engaging enough film. I disagree. With a horrible pair of glasses being worn by the leading lady throughout. Fun with just my sense of humour. Shut up. You have a terrible sense of humour. That's what you think.
Something didn't go very well with this Hallmark movie. 5 stars at best. Interesting.
Oh, they kept saying, people making comments about her makeup and glasses. Okay, Sarah Palin glasses. Ooh, okay. Yeah, acting personalities. Yeah, Vanessa Marcel, Kate, the character Kate. Her her acting personality in this film was about as weird as I've ever experienced in a Hallmark movie. I'd agree with that.
Yeah, we should do this more often. Looking at other people's reviews.
Yeah, but probably in advance.
Yeah, that would be ideal. Sorry, guys, that you're finding this out in real time.
Great movie, keeps up with the Hallmark formula, but God, that lead actress character is so annoying. I found her to be high maintenance. Kind of comes out as self-absorbed. I think it's meant to be. I can't read that one. 1 out of 10.
Yikes.
Truly a waste of time. This contains spoilers.
Oh, it's big.
I don't want to.
Don't waste your time with this DVD is the last sentence of that review. Look, let's try and find some things that we liked about it so we haven't just slammed it for 40 minutes.
Okay.
And then we'll give it a rating. Because, like, as much as we do agree with a lot of what is said in the reviews on IMDb, we can't just leave it on a...
I know. 3 things. You go first because I didn't write any down.
I wrote a 4.
Oh, wow. That's...
I really like Lucas's mum telling it how it is at the end. Just being like, your parents are not everyone. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to you like I'm your mother, telling you off.
Yeah.
But that's where we've led to right now. I really like David Sutcliffe. I agree with that review. I think he's as good in this as he is in anything else we've seen him in.
Yeah.
There was a dog, and the dog was so cute.
Yeah, the dog was cute.
And I really like the hotel that they kind of do most of the things is huge, and the view is incredible.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Which has nothing to do with the film itself. But the whole time I was just like, oh my goodness, that lake with the mountain. Oh my goodness, it was so pretty.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to make these up on the spot. I genuinely forgot because I don't know.
I liked that everyone gave it a 1-star rating.
Yeah. I think the best thing for me, I know you've kind of just mentioned it, and it feels like a cop-out, is the scenery.
Yeah.
Just like wherever they filmed was like just beautiful.
It was stunning.
Even like his parents' house, just like the rooftop kind of view. Oh, I would live there in a heartbeat. That looks stunning. I would like her really cushy job, to be honest.
Yes.
She might have gone to uni and studied for a long time, blah blah blah. She doesn't do much.
No.
She can easily get a book deal. So I don't know, I'd do that too.
Starting next week, A is going to do a relationship advice.
Oh, I won't be doing that. And then a third, I mean, I would say the dog.
You can say the dog.
I'll say the dog. And that's my 3.
You did it.
I did.
You haven't always done 3, and you managed to get 3.
I know, but they were really reluctant. Likes, you know.
Well, I guess the only thing left to do is rate it, and then we can stop talking about it.
I'm just looking at your rating. You go first because I'm looking at it.
I would rate this 4.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Which is the same rating we've given Ice Sculpture Christmas. I think it's on par with it's a fine movie, but don't make me watch it again.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. Mainly because now we've watched both twice anyway. You know, like that's enough. I've done my time.
I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. It's better than, what was the terrible one? Love Strikes Twice.
Yeah.
It's not the worst, but it's, what do we give 3.5? Just add Sweet Autumn. Ooh. That seems harsh now.
That does seem harsh now.
I'm going to stick with my 4 for this one, but just, Sweet Autumn doesn't.
Should we be bumping Sweet Autumn up to a 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that feels unfair.
Yeah, now that we've kept watching
Candy
more.
Cane Christmas at a 4.
Yeah.
I know, we've said this a few times, but it really is handy to go back and reflect because...
Yeah, it's hard because I think this one doesn't... I don't think the Convenient Groom really does follow the Hallmark formula in the way that others have.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like we said, there's the cheating boyfriend, all of this kind of stuff. The storyline is just kind of a bit... nothing really happens, I guess.
No, nothing does happen.
It's
a very nothing movie. The lead character is insufferable. They wrote her they made her look terrible. They made the guy look amazing, which is cute, but it's just annoying to see.
Yeah. I just would like to see balance.
Yeah. Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
Balance. We're going to go with the word balance.
I mean, they think they can chuck in like a douche ex-boyfriend or ex-fiancé and that'll do. It's just not enough.
I also wouldn't mind seeing instead of a widower, maybe like a douchey ex-girlfriend for the male lead, you know? Have the female lead character, if you need a widower, being the widow, and then having old mate with, you know, or not.
Yeah.
I just want to, and it's not that I want to see something different, because I think we come back to Hallmark movies for the tropes.
Yeah.
And for the formula and the comfort of them.
Do you know what I would like? Because I feel like it's either his... like the male lead, his wife or fiance or girlfriend dies, or she leaves him at the altar. Why can't it be he leaves her at the altar because it didn't feel right?
Or why can't he just have been single forever because he just didn't want a relationship?
Yeah, or why can't he have just had relationships and they've not been successful and he just says, I just haven't found the right person.
Exactly.
Like,
and
why...
for her as well, like... all of these very normal occurrences in everything.
Why does someone have to die or be a douche?
Or move from the big city to a small town.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we've talked about this for way too long.
So much longer than I actually thought we would. And that happens every time with a bad one.
I know. Yeah, it is. I think it happens more with a bad one because we really dissected her character.
We very much did.
Because I think it just makes you angry when...
Yeah, it's true.
Particularly in this instance, the way that the female lead was written. And I guess it's easy to talk about things you don't like.
That's true.
I mean, look how reluctantly we talk about things we do like. We're like, oh, I guess this is okay.
I guess we'll limit it to 3 things that we like.
Yeah.
Here is 40 minutes of things we don't like and 5 minutes, if that, of things we do like.
It's very negative, isn't it? Like, if you're going to produce something that's crap, you're going to get a negative review.
It's true. I mean, we haven't given all of them a negative
review. No, we haven't. We just... haven't watched a good one in a while.
Speaking of a good one, we are thinking of watching A Perfect Pairing next time around.
Yes, that's on... Is that
on Netflix?
Netty.
Yeah, on Netty.
And it's set in Australia.
Yeah, so we're back to wondering how the good old Australian to American accents go.
Yeah, and also I remember bits of it, just watching how Americans like react to Australian culture in it. Because who is it? Victoria Justice.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Hottie McGee from... He's in that show, Sex Life. I like that's the first thing that I mentioned.
And he did the New Zealand version of this movie.
Yeah, he did. What's that
Falling
one called?
in
Falling in Love.
With 2 N's?
Yes, he did that. So... I would like to review that one eventually too.
It can be the one straight up. We could just review and then it'll be Sex Life after. No, it won't be.
Can you imagine?
We just follow his career trajectory from the rest of the podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, Perfect Pairing next.
Yeah. And it's a fun one for all of the peeps who are like, I don't watch Hallmark movies. I know you've watched this one.
Yes. You have to watch this one because it's like you would have... Particularly you're our age. Yeah. Victoria Justice from Nickelodeon, you know.
You gotta. I know that we're doing a Netflix one very soon after we've just done a Netflix one, but at the same time, we are interested to see how Hallmark has kind of influenced the Netflix style of TV movie.
One I would like to do is one from that great family network, wherever Candace Cameron Bure moved on to. Yeah. It's a more conservative...
Oh, goodness gracious. That episode will be 2 hours long.
I would love to watch one of these movies. Because she's like an executive something or other there now too. Because Hallmark did not align with her anymore.
Okay.
So
we can do
I don't know where we find one of those.
We'll figure it out. And then, this may be the longest episode so far, but if we're going to watch a conservative one... Whew.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, you know where to find us if you want to tell us what we should be watching, what we should stop watching, all of the opinions that you have. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at hallmarkedpod. Mm-hmm. You can email us at hallmarkedpod@gmail.com.
Stunning.
That's everything, right?
That's it. And no plugs.
And no plugs.
No plugs.
You feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm just a bit tired. And I know you got to go, so...
Yeah, it's true. I got to get to the footy because, that's the same as watching a Hallmark movie.
You might find a guy there.
I'll look out for the flannel.
Yeah.
Across the green field.
Yeah. Well, you get a hot dog and be like, oh no, you got the last one. We both reach for the hot
dog at the same time.
Yes.
I'll keep you guys posted. Maybe that's instead of the Bunnings movie we make.
Oh, the Bunnings
football movie.
Yeah. But
anyway,
maybe not like Suncorp Stadium, like a local.
Yeah, just a local footy club.
Yeah.
He's like the head of the local footy club.
Yes. Nice.
Great. Stay tuned for that one, team. We digress so often.
I know.
Thanks for sticking with us.
Thank you. Goodbye. Bye.